Let me know anybody tuning in on Facebook Live because I can't see my Facebook screen right now.
Okay.
So
It's good with the music on the background. I like it. Yeah, it's a good idea.
just so while there's a pause, there's a bit of sound and volume. Is that good sound? Can you hear it? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, yes. Okay.
No, I meant the
Yeah,
music as well.
we are live. Yes, we are live. I can see from my phone we are live.
Yep. Let's go.
Just loading up on the page on Facebook here, and we are there. Right. Welcome everybody. Good evening or good afternoon. I don't know what to say. It's 4 p.m. here in the UK. And for me, it's always good morning until 6 p.m. That's me. As an Italian, I like to have this freestyling. But welcome everybody to this live of Friday Talks with Mr. Abz De Silva, where we're going to talk about different topics, sharing our stories, giving some values today here on Facebook. First of all, if you want, whoever is watching, we are here. Yes, I can see anybody that is watching. Everybody who is tuning in. What is it? Oh no, what is it? Let me just put mute on this, and we are ready. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, anybody that is tuning in, if you want to leave where you're from, where you're watching from, would be appreciated. Just saying hello to us. And we're gonna start. We're gonna start now. So I like to do these Friday talks with a guest always to share some value. Can you hear me, right?
Perfectly loud and clear.
Perfect. So I like to do this Facebook Live with always with a guest to share the stories, to bring some value, some ideas that maybe can help to inspire someone out there in the world. We live in a crazy world every day, and it's good to have something positive here on social media. So first of all, Mr. Abz De Silva, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I know you have a busy day with work, family, personal commitments. So I really appreciate that you're here. And yeah, so we're going to talk now about our stories, who we are, first introducing ourselves, and then we have some questions, and we'll take it from there. So without any further ado, I'd like to pass it over to you to share who you are, your stories, and then I'll share mine. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much again, Mario, for the honor and the privilege. So absolutely humbled to be on the call today. It's absolute honor to link with like-minded and positive people and actually grow together alongside a family. So appreciate the shout out today. Thank you very much. The actual privilege and honor is all mine for me to be able to serve people. I need to be able to connect with them. So thank you very much again and give me the opportunity. So my background, my story. Let's start. Let's start with the life first of all. I come from quite a religious family background, and you've got that cultural aspect. Now, with what I'm doing now, is sometimes it may be clashing, but you can actually be in a position to do multiple different things and be who you are and be content with who you are. And my story comes from me never being able to study. I wasn't the type to actually go and study or education. I always self-taught myself different things, learning how to ride a bike, learning how to do this, do that, and moving on to different things. And school just wasn't my thing. Okay. I wasn't the most educated. I was clever generally. Maths was always my favorite subject. And in fact, when I went on to leave school, maths was the only subject that I actually passed. So you can tell you that it was the beginning of something crazy. And who knew whether I'll do what I want to become and where I want to be. So I went through the life of finding work, being employed, learning skills. I always had a thing about learning something new. I can master everything. And I went out there, started the working world, worked in sales for many years, 15 plus years in the sales industry. But one thing I've always had and learned was it was always about me. And 2.5 years ago, my life flipped upside down. And I now had a daughter.
Could you come a bit further to the microphone, please? I can hear you, but maybe for the people watching.
Yeah, let me pull it a bit forward so you can hear me better. Here we go.
Yeah.
Right. So, like I said, my life flipped upside down 2.5 years ago when I had my daughter. And that's when everything changed. My mindset changed, my perspective changed, my look on life changed. It was no longer about me. It became about my 2.5-year-old daughter. Do I want her to live the life I lived, the struggles I went through, or do I want to give her the choices to do whatever she likes? Everything that I'm doing till today and the success I've had is because of that why, that reason. Being able to impact her life and many of other people's lives, in fact. And that's what's keeping me going today. Fast forward on 15 plus years in the network marketing industry, 15 plus years in the sales industry, and now being able to have that freedom of time to do what you like, making the choices you want, and building a legacy and impacting as many generations. And like I said, I'm honored and privileged. I'm always want to be out there and help as many people as I can, support as many people as I can. So it's actually my honor and privilege to be able to serve people. And that's it. That's my story. So it's been a long story, a long journey, but it's got me where I am. Few morals, few things that I will go through as well when Mario asks any questions that he has. And I will touch on those in a bit more detail as well of how to do things. So Mario, back over to you.
Appreciate your sharing, and I'm sure that someone who's watching can relate, or maybe they know someone who can relate. In terms of, I would say, life struggle, and then the sales that you learn everything into the field. I would say, and then you have something happen in your life, right? So you have a beautiful daughter, and then you need to be like, okay, now we really need to be. I mean, I'm 27, and I'm already planning for when I'm gonna have a family. I would say, even though I want to wait a little bit longer, I want to take my time in everything, But I'm sure that everything changed when you have someone in your life, someone that is part of you. Like I have so many friends from high school, people that I met here in London. They're like, oh, I have a daughter, I have a son now, and everything changes. And I'm like, oh man, is that gonna happen to me as well? The same, So I'm kind of
And that's the beauty of it, Mario. That's the beauty of it. I just want to jump in there. If it wasn't for my daughter, I don't think I'll be able to grow as much. The whole perspective changed about what I was doing, where I was going, what I was thinking. It now became about another person. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, I don't just want to impact my daughter's life. I want to impact generations, people out there that are on the same path, doing the same thing, and have found those struggles and are just trying to get through that brick wall option. So what something's holding them back is to change that mindset and move forward. And that's all I'm doing and helping as many people. Because it impacted me. I didn't come from no rich background. I didn't come from a successful family. I'm the first generation, well, gonna be the first generation millionaire in the family. And that's without a shadow of a doubt. And it all comes to belief and having that vision and having a story and a why. And it's so important. That's why the story and the reason and the children is so important. That's what elevates you to another level, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. It does. 110%. Yeah. Can I ask you briefly, what are you based? Are you in the UK?
So I'm based in Birmingham, UK. I'm actually brought up in London, believe it or not. I grew up not far from the West Ham football ground, Green Street, the famous Green Street. Everybody's heard about it in East London, Upton Park. I actually grew up there.
I've been there, yeah, once in the old stadium, yeah.
Grew up there for a number of years and then moved to the UK, moved to Birmingham. Essentially, the whole family moved, so we moved. Everything was different, but again, that was a journey. Now I realized if I was in London, my life would have been a bit different. Maybe more of a busy lifestyle in London. I'm actually privileged and blessed that I'm here in Birmingham. Shout out to those in the UK. Everybody that's in the UK in the current lockdown situation, my hearts go out to everybody. But look at the amount of people that are willing to wake up and understand there's a bigger purpose for me and my personal self. And that's a shout out to everybody. Everybody's, it's crazy how people have woken up over the last 2 years.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All this, I would say, virus situation is waking up many people, and yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it as well briefly. I don't want to touch much about the virus, but we are living this timing, so we need to as well to.
Well, just one of the things I want to say: with every extreme situation comes opportunity.
Yes. Yeah.
And if we don't link this extreme situation to the success of people, then we're going to look at only the positive out of it. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just searching for Facebook. If you have any comments, we are looking. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. And yeah, I mean, as you just mentioned, and I like what you said. You said with the confidence, with the posture, you are going to be the first generation millionaire in your family. And for people that maybe have missed that part, yes, you can do it. You just need to be
100%.
committed, work your ass off. Let me tell you that nothing comes free. Maybe you're gonna win the lottery, yeah, but the lottery of hard work, right?
Mhm.
That's how we can name it. But again, appreciate sharing your story. I'm gonna touch briefly about mine. I'm Mario Margherita, 27 years old, born and raised Italian. I'm from Puglia. Puglia is a region in the southeast area of the country near the sea. And I always work in hotels, in hospitality. That's been my study in high school, and as well I worked for about 10, 11 years in hospitality. So that's me. But since 7 years, it's been 7 years already living in a small city called London. It's a really small city in the UK called London with 8 million people, and actually come from a village of 5,000 people. Can you believe that? I mean, it's a big jump, right? So yeah, believing here in London, I love it. I hate it at the same time. Is, there is 50-50, I would say. I'm sure you would agree on this. And yeah, I mean, I came to London for life experience, for work, travel the world, meeting new people, and having fun, discover what's out there, but mainly to look out for opportunities, and as well to get to my goals. That's one of the main reasons why I came. Now, I'm with the same industry of apps. We're both on the home-based business in network marketing, and this actually came to me after I was looking for something. So when you search for something, someone listen to you out there. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but someone always listen to you. I didn't pray. I was just telling out loud. I want something. I need something extra. I want extra. I'm sure there is a person. I'm sure there is someone. Then in November 2018, I met an amazing gentleman. He's our mentor because he's, I would say, your mentor as well. Mr. David Hunter, I really want to always thank you and give a shout out. And yeah, that's where the journey started, and is great. I love it as a learning curve, and we're gonna touch about briefly about the industry that we're in, because many people still need education, I would say, and needs to actually realize what's the potential. So yeah, that's me. And now in terms of questions, I like to go with 2 or 3 questions. Let's see how the conversation goes, because before we started, I said to Abz, I'm sure this is gonna be a good one. So let me start ask you. In terms of, I always like to start talking about books or about life experiences. Let's go with let's go with books first. You mentioned that you learned a lot by yourself, with learning the skills, being an employee or with network marketing, into the industry. What books would you say gave you an impact in your life, in your business life, and that you can recommend to people to read and then maybe study it as a book that will have an impact in their life? So yeah, this is one of my first questions that I'd like to ask you.
I appreciate that. And you're right in what you say. There's certain things in your life that are impacted by individuals. And those individuals come in your path for a reason. They're going to be there to guide you, to push you forward, to elevate your status. And it's having those type of people around you in order to have that success. Changing your circle of friends is super important. So yeah, that's an amazing. David Hunt is actually one of my mentors and friends as well. So huge shout out to David Hunt. The work that he's putting in is phenomenal, and he's just changing mindsets and helping as many people as possible. So a huge shout out to him. In regards to books, there's actually a couple of books that what can I say, that changed my mindset massively. The first ever one was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now, I'm not a book reader, okay? I hate sitting out for too long a time. What I became was an audio listener. And I started listening to books. I realized that if I listen to information, I can process it better. And I started listening to audiobooks, one after the other, one after the other. Initially, it was just listening. Then it became about learning and developing. And the first ever book that I heard and listened to that had a huge, huge impact on my life was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. But on the flip side of that, I also had another book, and it's one of my all-time favorites. I can audio listen to that again and again, and every time I hear something different. And that's Beach Money. Beach Money was a huge, huge book for me, impacted a mind-opening sensation. When I listened to that book, my mindset changed to a whole other level. And those are the two massive, massive books that I first implemented. And it became such an amazing book. And I can read those and listen to those as many times as I want. One book in particular right now, which I'm reading, those that know, is one of my mentors, Mr. Johnny Wimbury. So a huge, huge shout out to Johnny Wimbury on the success.
Let me take a picture. Let me take a picture. Yeah, so I can. What is it? Yeah, this way. Brilliant. Yeah. Perfect.
So a huge shout out to one of our mentors, Johnny Wimbury. What an amazing inspiration he's been. I've had a few glimpses through the book. I've just started reading it properly, actually learning the book. So not just reading, but now learning from it. So I'm taking that slow and step by step. But a huge shout out to Mr. Johnny Wimbury, man. Wow, the lives he's impacting is mind blowing. So for those that haven't heard of him, do check him out. He's an amazing, amazing success in the industry, out the industry, and it's all about giving back. So huge shout out to his book. So that's the one I'm actually now focused on. In ultimately, the book that's changed thousands of lives, so to speak. The information that's in this book is from Johnny Wimbury's story himself. So who else better to listen to one of the most successful people in the industry? So yeah, who shouts out? In regards to audio as well, I do tend to listen to certain things in the morning, which also correlates with my book reading or my audio listening. I listen to industry legend, CEO of the company, Mr. Halton Buggs. I listen to his Cash Cow 10 minutes video in the morning, every morning, without fail. And he's writing about that. It's not about the numbers or anything like that. It's about the mindset. Mm-hmm. And that's stuck with me for many, many years. He was actually one of the reasons I took part in this industry initially, and now have the privilege and, honor of working alongside him, which is huge. So again, huge shout out to our CEO, Halton Buggs. So that's the books covered, I think. Yeah, those are my two all-time favorites that I listen to on a regular basis. Every week I'll tune back into them. Reading right now, back-to-back, cover-to-cover, is Johnny Wimbury's Building a Millionaire Mindset. You can get that on Amazon. It's the #1 best-selling book, along with Think and Grow Rich and many, many others. So yeah, do check that book out.
Yeah, I was just trying to adjust this camera.
Don't worry, it's fine.
I'm on a tripod now, and I'm trying to find is the light okay?
That light's perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, okay. So I have the natural light from the back, and then some artificial light, so I can do a balance.
That's okay.
I agree with the books that you mentioned. I have Beach Money on my list actually, but I never. Is it Tim Ferriss?
That's the one. Yeah, and personally, I say audio. Why? Because it makes you feel like you're there. The sensation of Beach Money for me is like, it puts me in that person's shoes, and it was so relatable to my journey at the time. Mm-hmm. And that just completely changed my mindset. Like I said, I'd listen to that on a weekly basis. I'll plug it in and listen to bits of it, my favorite chapters and so on. So yeah, as a whole book, it's an amazing audiobook. Like I said, mm-hmm. Think and Grow Rich obviously is a book of books. Rich Dad Poor Dad as well is another phenomenal audiobook that I listen to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But don't just read the books. My advice to everybody, if you're just going to go pick up the book just for the sake of it, don't pick it up as though you want to learn from it and implement whatever's in there. If you do that book at a time, you'll have that success that you're looking for, basically.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to share. And funny enough, you mentioned two books that are my favorites. And one, I have a funny story, and the other one, it came during an event, actually, when I met Mr. Hans. So it was, yes, those two books are special to me. And the first one is Think and Grow Rich. So Think and Grow Rich is yes, from Napoleon Hill. And I did actually a clubhouse the other day about a topic that is affirmations. And I'm sure you are aware of what an affirmation is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Huge,
yeah,
huge.
so yeah, I have a funny story about this book, and I'm going always to share I'm going always to share this story about this book. As you know, when you talk to people generally in life, you ask how you doing, what you do in life, what do you want to be, you know, in the next 5, 10 years, what do you like to do, where do you see yourself. I like to ask people questions. I like to listen. I like to be. I'm this type of person. So in the past, when I was not aware about the book, I was like, okay, why don't you do something? If you really want to be there in the next 5 to 10 years, take a piece of paper, take some time off, you know, and write down your goals, what you want to be, your money, everything, any project that you want to do, and then read it twice a year. That's what I said to them. But guess what? I never done it myself. So that's why. And then I did in a way. I wrote down my list of 5, 10 years, and then I read it just once a year on my phone. That's what I done. But then when I was recommended this book, Think and Grow Rich, there is a chapter that is called planning, and it's telling you, okay, write down everything, saying already with the affirmation, I'm so thankful and grateful to be a millionaire, to have helped so many people into the business, or whatever comes to your mind, whatever your goal is, and then read it twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And I was like, oh my good God.
I was
I've,
gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
yeah, I've been telling this to people to do twice a year, but actually I should do this every day, and I should do it myself first.
Yeah,
So that's
100%.
that's one of the best books that I would recommend, Think and Grow Rich. But again, as you mentioned, don't just read it for the sake of reading, just study it. Choose a
Study it,
chapter, choose
and
a part of
that's
the chapter, and then
that's
go.
one of the things that's huge, Mario, which you said there. And I just want to touch on. You know, doing it every morning, every evening. I was just going to say that you have to have that consistency. I look up my goals, my vision board every morning. I go through my story, my why, and visualize my why every morning.
Yes.
I do the affirmations. Turn off your notifications on your social media and do the important things. That's going through your goals. First of all, your why you started this. You want to start with your why. You want to then go to your goals and then do your affirmations of what you're grateful for every morning, without fail, every evening before you go to sleep. And you watch how your life changes. It's and in regards to books, there's two actually other books that are sitting on my desk at the moment, which I'm also going through.
Yeah.
How to Influence People, huge book, amazing for growth, personal development, everything. And the other one is Living Your Best Year Ever,
Who's
by
that?
Darren Hardy.
Darren Hardy. Is it the
Darren
same?
Hardy,
Is the same of the compound effect?
Compound Effect. Yes, that's right.
It's the
That's the
same.
same
It's the
guy.
same
Same guy.
author. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is your year. If everybody's watching out there on Facebook Live, right? If there's any people on there, make this your year. There is an opportunity for everybody this year to make it the biggest year ever. And I'm telling you this strongly, if you're stuck, if you're in a position, if you don't know what you need to do, reach out to myself or Mario. Honestly, let us help you achieve your goal this year.
Yeah.
If you can't do it this year, you can never do it. It's all about timing is now. The best time to do things, there's two times. The first one was yesterday, the other one is now. It's a
I
huge
like
book.
what you just said. I like what you just said. Yeah. It was either yesterday or now. There is no tomorrow.
100%.
Put your mind on and you work on. Yeah.
And do the habits. You know, the book reading for me is a habit. It's now become a normal. So you got to do these little habits every morning. And books, especially, they've been a huge influence. Like I said, I'm an audio person, so I can multitask while listening to my book, doing my affirmations in the morning. I can listen to my book at the same time. So there's a number of ways to do it. Whichever way you prefer it, do it that way. But do what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And the second book that you mentioned was, the first book that you mentioned is actually mine. My second one is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now that opens from Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, that as well opens a big shift in your mind, when you understand how money works, how, let's say, rich people, they get there, how they think, and what they do. Because again, when I met Mr. Hunt first time, I heard about this book about Kiyosaki, and I heard about the cash flow quadrant, and I'm like, my dad is self-employed for the last 15, 20 years. He's been self-employed in the energy field, but as well, I had so many friends, as the friends and family members that I know, they are business owner, small business owner or big business owner, and I'm like, okay, there must be different ways of making money, right, in life. So when I heard this cash flow quadrant in the event, I was like, aha, I knew I was right. I knew that there are different ways. That's where in Rich Dad Poor Dad, it gives you an idea. It doesn't explain everything, but gives the idea of the cash flow, employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. So for
And
me,
that was one of the changes for me personally as well. It was going from the quadrant and one side of the quadrant to the other, because I've had that huge success in the sales world. I've had the corporate ladder. I went up the corporate ladder many times. And even had my own businesses where your life sucked away in your own business, so to speak. But one of the things which was huge for me was having that shift in mind, knowing and having a mindset, money makes money. Wealth generates wealth, and what to do with it. So for that book, there was an actual complete shift in mindset. Earning six figures in the corporate world, like turning over millions of pounds for somebody else and getting a small percentage of that wasn't the way, unfortunately. So I've hit your £1 million portfolios in the corporate world. I've been to those levels where you're turning over $1 million a year for somebody else. You can do that for yourself, 100%. Yeah, that's a great book. If you want to just learn how the system works, that's an amazing book to get started. It actually broadens your mind to other possibilities. And you're right, there's so many possibilities out there, so many options.
So many options, yeah. I mean, you can do, again, so many, yeah. And one of the biggest takeaway for me was let's say, the rich or wealthy people, when they get, let's say, money, or, I mean, when they earn, they don't save or spend. They actually invest to buy other, oh Lord, I forgot the words in English now.
Investments.
Help me out. Investment and asset. That's
Assets,
the word.
Yeah, that's
So they
super important.
Actually investing into asset,
Yeah.
then they do their expenses. So because when you buy an asset, it grows more and more. Or investment is an easy word. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what it's all about. It's about not just learning what to do, it's learning how to do it. And then once you earn an income, what to do with your income. There's people out there that have $1 million. There's people out there that maintain $1 million. And there's people out there that make $1 million.
Yeah.
Where do you want to fall in that scale is the only thing. And that's the sort of mindset opening Rich Dad Poor Dad gives. It gives you that same, okay, you can make money, you can earn money, you can exchange your time for money. But if you make money, which makes more money, that's what it's about. That's an investment. And it's not just monetary investment into yourself. Read those books. That's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Take out the 10 minutes for affirmation. That's an investment into you. So always look at the investments into you as well as investments into a business.
It is indeed, yeah. And another one I would say that helped me a lot is, I need to read it again, actually, is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits, because last year when this virus started, everything shut down, you're home, and I'm like, I was happy. I'm still happy, honestly, but I don't take this for granted. And I know many people are suffering, are struggling. I get that. But I was happy because I could spend more time with myself on focusing and growing and learning. But I started to manage my habits, and I'm like, okay, I need something extra, some guidance. And I'm like, and then I got this book recommended, and now what I have here on my phone, I have about 20 wake up calls every day, no matter what. You can use your phone as a dumb phone or smartphone. That's why they're called smartphone, right? So you can use it in a smart way as well.
You'd be
And
surprised how many people have got dumb phones, unfortunately. They've got everything on there, but not utilizing what they've got.
Yeah, and you can use it again so many ways. So yeah, so Atomic Habits is another book. Something I need to read it again, but it gives that mindset as well, and then exercises that you can make.
That's one of the things. One of the things I learned from the book. One of the important things I learned from the book was to not let daily things become habits. Those daily things should be routinable. Your habits are something that's positive for yourself and that you stick to. You know, they say if you do a habit more than 40 days, it becomes natural to you. It becomes a habit after 40 days of doing it. So stick to one thing. It could be small. Like, for example, I now have an app on my phone that brings on quotes. And you've seen some of the quotes that I normally put up. Every day, without fail, I read and memorize one of those quotes, and it goes up on my social media every day. Small habit, but it's had a huge impact.
Yes.
Yep. You know, the little work that we do, the mindset on the mindset, it has a huge impact up here. Massive impact. Those daily little habits, you can do them, but just make sure you do them. It doesn't have to be something fancy. It doesn't have to be something big, but do them small. I think add to them. You can grow your habits. Like I have 6 or 7 different habits now that I've only grown over time. They've not been there before. I've created those habits every morning. I do those things every morning, you know. And again, I wasn't a gym type person, but now every morning I'll do my 5 push-ups. Not something heavy, not something massive. I'll do my 5 push-ups every morning, knowing that it's become a habit. And if I do it every morning, I can increase it later. I can do the proper workout in the gym. I just want to do 5 push-ups. That's it. Stop. You don't need to overwork yourself. It's just a mindset, habit. Do it. Then you can add to that habit. You can do 10 push-ups and a chin-up. You know, 10 push-ups, 5 chin-ups, and a burpee. Whatever. Add to it. And it all comes from small little habits that you have to do on a daily basis. And yeah, you're right. Morning and evening. Those positive ones, do them every day.
Is as well the compound effect, right? I mean, is when you do it, you do it, then you're like, oh, 5, I can do 50. You know, when you get there.
It's about taking that first step and doing the one, but doing it consistently. If you do anything consistently, you will have that success. If you consistently get your name out there, you'll have your success. If you consistently speak to people, you'll connect with more people. And that's what it's all about. It's about consistency and doing it over and over and over and over again. I've been in this industry for 15 plus years. And the only thing that's given me my success is the consistency. I've not failed. I've increased. Every time I've gone up to a different position or a different level, or even if it's a different company, it's been the learning curve.
Yeah.
The consistency of doing little things consistently has grown to this point in time today where this is our year, you know, and that's what it's about. So yeah, definitely consistency. Books. If you're going to read books, stick to 1, 2 maybe, and read them alternative times, once, twice, 3 times a week, or find somebody to read them with. Now, the dawn of social media, you can jump online and read through a book and let, you know, somebody reads 2 pages. Why? So you're listening and reading. It's a great way to do things.
I never thought about it.
You know, we've got the new group app that's launched recently, Clubhouse. Turn it into a book read. Read books with somebody. Do it with somebody else. If you can't do it on your own, you struggle, try audio like I did. Stick a pair of headphones on, earphones, so the outside noise is cancelled, and just sit there and listen. While you're doing everything else, while you're having your breakfast, just listen.
Yeah.
You don't need to pick up your phone first thing in the morning. Do those little things. If you're gonna pick up your phone, pick up an audiobook first thing in the morning. Simple habits.
Yeah. I agree. Moving on to the every time I do these lives, you know, that's why I say we want to share some values, we want to bring something positive. I always learn a little bit from someone else, so I always learn something extra. So, and we are just at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. We are just starting now. So moving on to the second question now, I'd like to ask, in terms of life, what has been one of your most what is the biggest decision that you ever took in life so far that you feel free, comfortable to share, and what you have learned from it?
Wow. This is not only a long topic, it probably needs a separate recording for this whole thing. Um, my life has been full of learning curves. Honestly, it's been those learning curves is what's made me who I am today. But one of the biggest learning curves for myself was being able to have the connection with certain people, but not let it affect or impact you. And I'm talking about family here, blood relations, right? Being in the industry that we're in, we know sometimes somebody close to you will love you, right? You got all the love in the world, but unfortunately, they also overprotect you
Hmm.
and stop you from doing things that they're not comfortable with.
Yes.
And it's great to have that family relationship, build a bond. But for me, the biggest decision and also the biggest shift was when I left them as family, as family as family. They're my blood relation, love them, I'll spend time with them, I'll eat with them, I'll do whatever needs to be done. But my focus is on me. Nobody's decision is going to impact my future. Surround yourself with positive, like minded people. Connect with somebody like Mario, who's had a shift in life and has gone. You know, I've seen you grow, Mario, and it's been absolutely phenomenal, the journey. But one of the things that huge turnover for me was leaving the negative people away, even though you love them and you have a huge respect for them, and focus on the people that are going to uplift you, that are going to help you grow, that are going to push you forward, that are going to believe in your dreams even more than that you believe in yourself. If you tell somebody your story, your why, that should be an elevation. You know, that could your story and your why should be impacting generations. And you have to step out and become that first generation millionaire in your family. You be the one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Take that responsibility on yourselves to make a change and do it and go out there and impact other people. You never know what your story can impact or whose life it can change. Don't let your story be something that's holding you back. Don't let the negative hold you back. That's your story. That's your why. That's your goal. That's your vision. That's what's going to continue to huge grow. Yes, your story might increase. It might get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like my story started off about me, but now it's about helping people. My daughter became my why. My mindset shifted, but if I hadn't stopped blocking the negativity out, I could be stuck in that loop and in that circle all your life. You know, I've got amazing close friends, you know, people I grew up with on the streets who are still in the same position because they refuse to grow and change the environment. I still live at home, but that's also a business move.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's about learning these things and letting those changes and those things in your life impact you. But before you do any of that, you have to change your circle, change your environment, connect with the right-minded people, connect with the positive people, connect with those people. You don't want to copy somebody. You want to be yourself, be original, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need a mentor, you need a coach, you need a goal, you need a vision,
True.
and you need that family of people around you who have the same vision, same goals, same mentality, who are going to uplift you, who are going to push you forward and keep you going. But also, you're going to be helping them. Your story can change somebody's life. It doesn't matter if somebody that's more successful than you or somebody that's not as successful as you. Your story will impact their life. Share your story. Share that one moment in your life that can have a change. And for me, that one moment was blocking out the negative people and focusing on myself. And now focusing on other people. I want to impact generations. There's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people whose lives will be impacted. And that's a promise. So I
Mm.
hope that sort of sums up your question. But yeah, it's been an absolute phenomenal journey. I can tell you that.
It
But you're
does.
gonna go through those bumps, those downs, those. But it's all about having that mentality, that belief, and let go of whatever's holding you back and run in the opposite direction.
Mm. And run, yeah. And I like what you said about people who you've been growing up together on the street and are still in the same position. And yeah, I mean, at the same back home in Italy, I have some friends who I love them. I talk to them from time to time, but they're still there. They're now they're now starting getting that they actually need more, maybe to more income or more growth to actually get the change. So it's not gonna come from night to morning. You know, it's not gonna come unless, I don't know, unless you drink something so powerful, hey, that's a new me, you know, just want to make some
No,
fun.
but that's what's important, Mario. You have to understand everybody has that Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and I'm a firm believer of that. Like, I can learn from anything. You know, even a small personal development should be a huge success for you. It doesn't have to be a monetary thing, guys.
yeah.
You know, it could be a mindset shift. It can be a health shift. It can be, you know, how you dress, how you come across, how you speak to people, connecting with more people. It could be anything. You can see success as whatever you want to see it as. But, you know, being satisfied and being content is scary right now. You know, yes, there are people that are happy, but remember, your happiness can actually change somebody's life. So share your story. Don't be content with just yourself being happy. Who else can you make happy? And that's when that journey begins. It's about you going from you to now. How can you serve? How many lives can you impact? How many people's lives can you change? And in order for that to happen, you're going to have to stop doing things that have been holding you back all this time. You're going to have to let go of the past and change direction and go towards the future. And for those that do those things, this will be your year. It's without a shadow of doubt. If you put the work, the effort, the mindset in, doesn't matter what you're changing, you change your habits, you will have a better year this year. And that's a promise.
Yeah, yeah. And something that you just mentioned, you need to give up something. Last month, I was about, just to share a real story. Last month, I was about to renew my Netflix account, but then I was like, why bother? I mean, why should I do it? You know, I mean, I've here on the laptop, and yeah, it's £6. It's not much, but why should I bother? You know, these £6 can actually me reducing my chances to get the income that I really want, and then I can enjoy Netflix on a bigger screen, you know, or on a projector, whatever it's called, like in a cinema. So I'm like, sometimes you need to give up something for some time and then go there. That's
It's not about even giving up. It's about prioritizing.
prioritizing sacrifice. Yeah,
I mean, for
prioritizing.
example, like I've gone off my cigarettes and I've gone onto these vapes now. So it's not that I'm coming off it altogether. It's still not good for you, but it's a change. It's something better. You know, cut your hours down. Spend 1 hour a day, 1 hour a week. Your movie, make one night a movie night a week. You do need that wind down, and for me, it's music and everything. And I'm into my audios. I wind down by watching something that's going to be meaningful. You know, there's programs and stuff on TV and Netflix that you can watch that are going to change your life. I mean, I learned from cartoons. So if you can learn,
Okay, I want to know more about
if you
that.
can't take a message from a cartoon or something that you're watching, look for positives and everything. And one of the examples of, I'm a huge anime fan for those that know. Dragon Ball Z is one of my all-time favorite animated series. I'm a huge fan of it, and I watch it all the time. Why? Because I learn something different from it every time. One of the things that resonates in me is the main character, Goku, where he never gives up. He always wants to be stronger, and he always is looking for the next challenge and wants to grow and wants to better himself. Not in a bad way, not in an egotistical way, but his end game is to offer protection and help as many people as possible and protect the world. He wants to take that burden on himself. So he always elevating himself. He's always growing. He's always, but yet he eats like me, a buffet, but he needs that energy, that food to his strength and his power, where it lies. And, you know, there's so many other examples I can give you. I don't know if you're a huge fan. I'm now 34 years old. I grew up watching Ninja Turtles. Master Splinter was the mentor of mentors. You watch through Turtles and you tell me now, knowing what you know now, you'll be picking up those little stories and signals from cartoons. And it's amazing. And like I said, people say, yeah, stop it altogether. Personally, I say take value from whatever you're watching. If you're going to watch it in your downtime, at least take some value from it, whatever it may be. So watch something that's going to impact you, that's going to change it. But for me, I've changed my mindset to thinking that whatever I input, I look for the positive in everything. That same with audios, you know, music, whatever it may be. There's always a positive to that, you know. And there's films and stuff like that you can watch, which are going to have a positive impact on you, you know. So yeah, that's just me personally. So don't cut down something immediately that shocks you. Great that you've been able to do that. Me personally, I'd say cut it down, do it slowly, bit by bit, but also then change your mindset about it. You know, rather than seeing it as a negative, change it into a positive and see what good you can get out of it. If you rather than sort of beating yourself down, because then you get into that mode where you do need to wind down sometimes. You know, have that family time, and that's why I think family is important as well. You need to have that wind down time, but also with this TV time. You know, for those that don't have the family around them, or your family may be in different countries, and you need to just wind down. You know, have a call from somebody from abroad, speak to somebody, have a conversation with somebody, or if you really want to wind down, put something on that's going to cheer you up and uplift you and give you that positivity. I mean, you can watch cartoons. Why do kids watch cartoons? Because there's always, and they learn from cartoons. Why? Because there's always a message behind everything. There's always a learning curve in everything that you see. So use that example. I hope that's helped.
A lot, yeah. And yeah, I cancel Netflix because I was doing what you mentioned before, like maybe 1 hour a week or one evening a week. But then, you know how it is, right? It's kind of addicting because I was watching David Attenborough about our planet. And then I discovered that there is a TV series, and I'm like, oh man, I want to watch this TV series now about the planet. Then I saw there are other TV series, other movies, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. That's me, you know. That's why I say, you know what? Let's cancel it. I'm gonna enjoy later on. I don't care. That's why I got there. But
100%.
Right.
No, it's an amazing that you were able to do
yeah.
that. Like I said, I still have it running. I don't really. I've sort of programmed myself now to only watch it when I need to watch it. Same with anything else, YouTube videos. You know, we're in the door of social media, unfortunately, and you have TikTok, and you can sit on into TikTok videos and go. You start off with one, and it just goes on to a tangent. You're watching something stupid. It's about managing your time right. So, okay, I've got 2 hours for this. I've got an hour for this. Having a timetable, having a calendar. You know, for those that know myself, I personally found this calendar to be one of the best calendars I've actually ever had. For those that know, obviously it's called a flight planner, and it's been amazing. Just put stuff in that, you know. Or if you're one of those people that have a smartphone, a real smartphone, and it's not just a dumb phone, put it in your calendar in your notes. You know, have things pop up in the day that to remind you what you need to do. This you need to that. Okay, you need. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Apple Watch. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you're sitting down too long, it tells you to get up and walk around.
Really?
Yeah. If you're holding your breath for long periods of time and you're not really breathing, it will say breathe, and it monitors your breathing. So there's small things like that can wake you up. You know, you can have tap motion. Okay, now it's tapping you. Okay, that means okay, I need to get up for a bit, energize, move around a bit, listen to some music. You know, go downstairs, do something, go to the shop, go for a little walk, whatever you need to do it. You cannot do everything 24 hours a day. You need your rest. But you need to do it in accordance. You need to do it, you know, timing. It needs to be right. It needs to be done at certain specific times. And time management is hugely important, as you know. So if you manage your time right, anything is possible.
It is. Yeah, it is. Wow. A lot of learning, a lot of things to take away from this.
Now, don't go watching Dragon Ball Z just because I said that, right? It's an addictive cartoon that I love watching.
I watched it when in Italy when I was in primary school.
Yeah, but like I said, I took lessons from it as well, so I do watch it as a passion. I enjoy watching it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're gonna do those things, but I spend an hour, I spend a couple of hours on it in the week, where I want to wind down and just relax and chill out. You know, have your family day, have your days that you need off, and just time to yourself. Don't be a robot.
Yeah, true. I get it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, if you've got 2 hours in a day, make those 2 hours count. You don't have to do 10 hours where you're working at 10%, work at 2 hours and work at 110%. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah. Whew, wow. And from my lesson, I would say one of my biggest decision that I've made so far and what I've learned from it is 3 years ago in 2018. Now, in 2018, I wasn't really happy where I was, and I took a break from work and from London. So I went back home for summer from March till September. And then while I was there, I was like, okay, I met so many friends here in London since when I came, since when I moved to London, sorry. And I'm like, okay, do I really want to go back to London or I want to go to Argentina in South America? That was one of my places to go. I've been in London 4 years back then, and I'm like, did you achieve what you want? Did you visit the places that you want to visit? Some. Did you do what you actually have you planned? Have you do the right investment? Have you learned something for your future? Yeah, I learned something obviously, but did I learn what I really wanted to learn? And the answer for most of the places was no. So I'm like, why should I go to Argentina, to the other side of the world, is like 10 hours away from Italy, from the UK, and start everything all over again? I could have done it. I mean, again, I'm 27, so I can still do it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I can do, yeah, I have more flexibility being single as well. But I said, you know what? I don't feel comfortable. So I will go there for holiday. Maybe I'm gonna go there as well to do some charity in the future for longer months. But now I actually feel that I need to come back. And guess what happened when I came back? In November 2018, I met my mentor through an event. That's how I met you as well, through events, through the online business that we're doing together. So sometimes you need to take a step back, really realize, okay, did you achieve, did you visit, did you do anyway what you planned to do at the first place? Obviously I achieved something, don't get me wrong. I achieved, let's say, at 20% of what I planned to do, but the remaining was just in the air, was just somewhere missing. I'm like, when I don't want to live a life with regrets.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I came back as well. Because yeah, the city is big. I love the city, but at the same time, I hate it for some stuff. I'm still there, I mean, I like 50-50. It's like everywhere, I would say. Everywhere is good, everywhere is bad. But at the same time, like, you know what? London will be part of my life and part of my story that I can share with people. The struggle, the adventures, the nights out, all the trouble that you made, that you passed. And I'm
And
sure,
you can
and I'm
you
sure
can
you
never
can
you
relate
can
to
never
this,
forget
right?
that. That's your journey, and you can never forget that, or remove that from your life. In regards to decisions, decisions are important. Sometimes you're right, you do need to just take a step back and just visualize something. Work on one thing at a time. Then learn to work on. I mean, you have all these ideas in your head. What you want to do this, you want to do that. Pick the top five and just work on those top five things. And if one of those things comes up as you need to move somewhere, do it. I've had to do the same. I've made decisions which are going to impact me going forward. Moving away from family to do what I do now is a sacrifice,
Yes.
and it's about making those little sacrifices. I'm here, but my sacrifice is my goal. I'm away from family, but alternatively, it's for my family. It's to leave that legacy behind for my family. I'm going to put the time, the effort in now to impact their lives and make that generation, and then I go back to my why. I make the decisions based on my goals, on my vision, and my why. If you rush into things without thinking them through or without stepping back and without focusing on certain things, because it's not always a good path, even though you can turn it into a good path, or God puts good paths in your way, and it may be that there was another opportunity there maybe it was something else up for you, but it's always about where you feel your heart is right. That's what you need to do. Follow it for yourself. Don't listen to people around you, and follow that vision and that goal. If you've got that, that's super. You were pulled down to London for a reason, and that was the beginning of your journey, the journey that's
Yeah.
going to change your life. But now all those sacrifices that you made, they're going to come to light. They're going to come down. Believe me when I tell you that excitement of how close you become to your goal is the best excitement in the world. Those little goals, when you hit those little pinnacle stages in your life, man, it's not even the monetary side. It's the feeling of gratefulness.
Change the game, yeah.
And it's like I said, 2021 is going to be a year, so do watch out. You know, it's super important. And yeah, your story and your why and your shift and your mindset is all important. And these are the things that are going to change your life. These are going to make the changes this year. Doing those things that, Mario, you know, your story is phenomenal. It's going to impact generations and lives. And, you know, a huge shout out to you for going through what you've done, because not many people can do that, unfortunately. Leave everything behind to come out and do what's right and fall into the right place with the right mentor. It's all because of those choices that you made and the sacrifices that you made. So huge shout out to you. Absolutely humbled and privileged to be working alongside you. So thank you very much, you know, for sharing that story.
Thank you for the kind words, and I would say yes as well. Same since when I met you as well. I could see your change in terms of the mind, how you think, and as well your actions. I can see the difference. So I can exchange the words. You know, I mean, I can relate as well to you. And yeah, I mean, sometimes when you know when everything started, because I really want to go deep into this now. I don't want just to say. I don't want just to chat. I mean, I'm Italian, so I use the hands a lot. I don't just want to chat. I don't just want to say, yeah, it's great, you know, thank you, and then I can relate. When you start really to think, as you said, I want to be the first millionaire in my family. Yes, you said it, but it didn't come yesterday. It's a process. My process started in high school. When I see struggles some family members, when I see struggles some of my friends, when I hear so many people complaining, like, oh, my pension, the government tax, everything, I didn't achieve this year. I want to go abroad, you know, blah blah blah. And I'm like, do I really want to live this life? Then I was 15, 16 years old. So I was there. I'm like, do I really want to be there? And then again, when you think about it, the next year, that's when I came to the UK. It was about 10 years ago. First time I came to the UK was in a city called Bournemouth in the south. Love the city. It's on the beach side, on the seaside of England. And I'm like, you know what? I think I have my exit strategy. Let's call it this way. And the exit strategy then in turn turned out to be part of my life now, to be in the UK. That's why I say sometimes you need to take a step back and think, okay, where do I want to be? What I want to do? And yeah, you can ask advices to friends, family, yeah, but you're the director of your life. That's simple as that. I can't say in other words, you know. That's just you who make the decisions. Wow, this this live is good, you know. It's good stuff. I really like it.
Wow. I mean, if you want me to, I can even touch on that. You know, how important those journeys, those little decisions are in life. And you make those decisions for a reason. You know, don't limit yourself to what you have. Don't ever be content with what you have. If you're happy with what you have, pass it on to somebody else. Who else can you impact? If you're satisfied with exactly where you are and you don't really want to grow, great. But don't just sit there with that greatness within you. Pass it on to somebody else. Give that feeling to somebody else. And that's what it's about. It's about building those connections. It's about going out there, making those journeys, making those commitments, traveling around the world, impacting lives. And it all comes down to your story, your why, your goals. They will grow. They will continue to increase. They will continue to get better. You will want to impact more and more people. If you focus on yourself, yes, you're right. It's a build up from many years ago when I got kicked out of school and I landed my first job throwing luggage into an aeroplane. And it was since that moment I realized there's a bigger world out there. There's so much more out there. And even though I went down the study route, you know, I did my accounts, my finance, I still went through the corporate structure, so to speak. But I always, in the back of my head, I knew I was ready for a bigger purpose. I knew that my purpose in life was to impact people, was to mold people's lives into the best lives they've ever seen. And the only way I can do that is by giving out that value, that information, my story, my journey, because whose life can it impact? Whose life can it change? Whose life can it make a difference to? And that's why I love these calls. I love sitting on these calls, being able to have the opportunity. So first of all, absolutely humbled and privileged to have the opportunity to share my story and speak, but also to be able to give back, because not many people give back. Some people are afraid to take that first step. And once you take that first step, believe me, that journey is going to be absolutely phenomenal. You know, when you get on that journey, you can't stop. It becomes addictive. It becomes life. It becomes second nature. You are going to enjoy that life of helping as many people as you can. You're going to enjoy that life of being able to travel to wherever you want. You're going to be enjoying that life to make choices that you never had, and giving other people the opportunity to make choices. You know, yes, we're grateful for everything that we have. We're grateful for the situations that we're in. We're grateful for our stories. But what are you going to do with them? You know, they say the most valuable place on the earth is a graveyard, because there's ideas that have never been written down. There's ideas that have never been spoken about. There's ideas that have never been implemented. Don't be those people that are going to sit there all your lives without implementing the ideas out of you. If you've got one little idea, it's never the stupid idea. It's the best idea. Go follow it, go achieve it, go believe in it, go chase it, go do what is necessary to go out there and have that success. You know, if you're struggling financially, do something about it. There's so many ways that you can change your financial situation. It's not just about having money. It's about having the mindset, the goals, the habits. Everything that we've talked about today is being a build up to this. It's that final change about actually going out and doing it and putting yourself forward and getting it done. Taking that first step, take that leap of faith, jump off that bridge, and you watch that bungee that pulls you back up from the ground upwards to you've never seen before. And believe me, that journey is amazing, and that feeling is amazing.
It is. It is. It is. Indeed, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And you just mentioned two quotes. One from Les Brown, and the other I'm not sure who it is, but I want to share something about Les Brown. So the quote that you said is, "There is greatness within you." First of all, and then the second one that you mentioned is about the graveyard. I'm not sure who said that, but I want to say something about Les Brown. I said this into another live as well that I did a few months ago. Les Brown said this as well. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. So sometimes we need to think about the quotes, the affirmation that we hear, we listen, and then like, what do you mean if I do what's easy, my life will be hard? Well, if you do what's easy, maybe you're gonna struggle in many things in life without even realizing it. Instead, if you do what's hard, getting out of your comfort zone, talking to more people, exercise, change your meals and everything, your life will be start coming a little bit easier. So thank you for sharing that about Les Brown, and I wanted just to add on it.
I mean, about doing the easy things, I absolutely love that. You know, for me, the things that I do now are easier. You know, being not having to worry, not having to struggle, not having to worry, not having to hold yourself back is easier than being able to struggle and cry every day and do whatever you want. You know, it's unfortunately it's the way things is, the way the situation, the way life is. People are pushed in down, but that's hard. That's harder than having success, believe me. And I've been that. You know, which hard do you want? Do you want that hard, which will hold you down forever, or do you want the hard where you're out there every day impacting people and generations? Do you want the hard where you have to get on a plane to go to a different country? Is it hard? Oh, the hard life. I got to go to this beach this week. You know, I want to do whatever I want. It's hard, man. It's hard going to Harrods and shopping. It's hard getting the car of your dreams. But that's the easy life. Believe me when I tell you that you can go down to the stoops of the lowest of the low. That hard down there is harder than the easy life. So realistically, you're not working hard. You're working smarter. You're working more consistently. You're changing your mindset and you're working with people. You're using that leverage around people to make life easier. And that's what it's about. So choose your hard, whether you want the hard down there or do you want the hard up there.
I like that. I like that. Choose your heart. I really, really like. I need to write it somewhere. And yeah, but I will say it's from Abz. It's not from me because I'm making my own quote now. I'm starting to think. In the last few days, I've been thinking about it, and I'm starting to get in there as well. But I like what you said. Choose your heart. I really like it. Now I want to ask you something. Something else. On the live, I wrote down life, business, mindset, and dead lifestyle. So I want to ask you in terms of habits and action that you take daily, how was prior to have your daughter and now how it is to be a father? So how did it change? And as well, if you have any advice, any suggestion for morning routines or anyway, anything, any daily action that maybe can start to have that balance between you as a person, but as well with your family. So yeah, I can't really answer to that, but I'll pass it over to you.
No worries, no worries. In regards to one daily habit, for me, it's been about, I think affirmations is the most important one, and working on my mindset every morning. And obviously, the mindset had to change. When I had my daughter, it now didn't become about me anymore. It was about her. That's where my story changed. That's where my why changed. And it became an even bigger why. So now I had to work harder. I had to work more consistently. I had to work faster, better. I had to learn from more people. I'd have to start implementing things. And that's when I started to really implement things. It became a routine, waking up for her in the morning, etc. Doing my affirmations at that time. When I'm putting her to sleep, I'm doing my affirmations again, looking at my goals. After she's fallen asleep, I go through my why. I look at her photos. I look at her, close my eyes for 10 minutes and imagine where I want to be every day. It comes up on my phone. It's a reminder. My notes, my goal, my why comes up on my phone every single day in the morning. I have to look at it without fail. If I'm going to pick up a phone, I'm going to pick it up for that reason, nothing else. Those little habits, turn off your notifications all night. Put your phone in flight mode. Don't let it distract you. Have your 8 hours pure sleep. For those that find difficulty sleeping, I have an amazing product that you can have as a sample. I'm sure you'd love it. I won't talk about that today, but that's a different topic. But if you do find problems sleeping, I've got something for you. Do shout me. But yeah, honestly, like those little things have had a huge impact. After my family, I did before was doing the affirmations, but then it became even more of a habit after I had my daughter, and now it's now a normal. I do this every morning without fail, without question, without looking twice at it. It's now it's now become, I don't even think about it, and I'm just doing it. That's how it needs to be. It's like when you jump into a car, for example, and you've got the same journey to work or to the local shop. You take that same route, that same journey. You do it without even thinking. You know that you're there. Sometimes you leave stuff at home and you think, oh, how did I end up here? It's natural instinct. When you change habits to instinct, that's when it's going to change. That's when your habits become imprinted into you and they become so normal and they change your life. They really do impact your life. So when they become molded within you and without even looking at anything, you're just doing it, that's when it's powerful. And that's when that change happens. I've been doing it before, even way before my daughter. I've always had these affirmations, these goals, this why, having my vision board in front of me, dreaming of your favorite house, your yacht, your helicopter, your boat, your car, your this, your that, really deeply look into that. And every morning that comes up, it's attached to my alarm. It's an image of your future. And if you make that a habit, if you make that consistent enough, doesn't matter when you do it. Now it's just become more of a reason, because now I've got an even stronger why. Before, the why was about me because I was happy with certain things. Now I'm not happy with certain things. Now I want my daughter to have all the options, all the choices in her life that she can never even dream of. So that's what it's about for me now. But it all started with those little habits every morning, every evening. They've now, like I said, become you know, psychological. It's all in there without even doing anything. You just happens to now as a normal, and that's my advice to everybody out there. Make it a habit, 100%.
I like what you mentioned about when your habit became your instinct. So when it became really natural. So I really love that part. And it's basically with anything, right, in life. I mean, how do you how do you brush your teeth? How do you put your shoes? How do you say good morning? You know, I mean, it's a habit. Some people don't say good morning in the morning, any by the way, yeah.
No, but it's become an instinct as well. You have to
Yeah,
remember,
you see,
those are
that's where I want to
instinctual, man.
go. Yeah,
You brush your teeth without even questioning it. Why don't you go through your affirmations without questioning it every morning? Why don't you read the book that you said you're going to read without questioning it? Why don't you do the daily habits? Why don't you speak to two people every day and make it an instinct? We choose to make habits, those things you didn't know. You know, when you were a child, you didn't get permission to stand up. You just did it.
yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's about just doing it. You know, don't ask permission from anybody why you can't do what you can't do. Believe yourself as a Superman. You may act like Clark Kent in front of people, but you've got the Superman inside of you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'll touch briefly to this answer, and then if you have anything that you'd like to ask, anything that you want to add, yeah, feel free. So I'll touch really briefly in terms from my side, in terms of changing habits and what my, let's say, my routine, my morning. What I do is I tend to have my phone near me, I would say, but I have it for a reason now. I have it for a reason now. What I'm doing before going to bed, I'm listening to Think and Grow Rich or Cash Cow or other anyway audios that while I'm sleeping, somehow my brain is listening to them. You know, so it's not that healthy, I would say, but hey, it can be good for long term. Let's say, let's put it this way. I need to find a solution about it. But in terms of me changing habits and minds and routine, I would say the morning, as you do, affirmations, then some warm up for the body, read or listen something positive. Reading, I usually read about an hour a day. If not an hour, at least half an hour, at least 30 minutes a day, I need to read. Or if I don't really feel to read, I listen to something positive, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, or our CEO, Mr. Bucks, and or I listen to some music that can relax me or give energy. Depends how I wake up in the mood, I would say. But then, yeah, your affirmations start realize, okay, what's the plan for today? What's the agenda for today? Because if you don't have an agenda, I don't really know how you're gonna run your day. You know, I mean, I used to be without an agenda 4 years ago. I started an agenda in 2019. I started to be like, okay, let me get it. I'll start to get, this habits on write down, okay, what I need to do. The laundry, I need to do the shopping, I need to go there, I need to do something. So even though it's something not important, put it there. When you write down on an agenda on a piece of paper, the feeling of writing down is actually better than just saying out loud, or you might forget. So yeah, but I would say make, as you mentioned before, when you do something for 40 days, it becomes a habit, becomes a routine. So find your way, but in the morning, please don't listen or watch TV. Don't do that. It's like putting, it's like putting, so much. I want to be nice, but something that really doesn't give you that boost in the morning. I'm trying to be as nice as possible. It doesn't give much boost to you. So listen to the news. You need to know what's happening, but listen it after. Do your thing before, do affirmations, listen, read, some exercise, some healthy breakfast. And then during the day, I need to know what's happening in the world as well. I need to know about it. But if you listen or watch straight away as soon as you wake up, I used to do that in the past. Again, I used to do it, but then I'm like, you know what? It's not helping my confidence. So let's move it after. So yeah, I mean, that's my advice is And again, I don't know if you want to ask something or if you want to add something.
Yeah, I definitely want to add something to that. I mean, I was a news kind of guy. When I had my breakfast in the morning or when I'm having my tea in the morning, I'd listen to the news, unfortunately, just like everybody else. First thing in the morning, plugging in the news. I've changed that habit. I don't do something different. I just listen to something different. I now listen to Halter Bo's 10-minute cash cow every morning at breakfast without fail. And while I'm listening to that, if I've listened to all of it, I then just play some music. You know, I listen to instrumentals and beats. Love them. The one playing in the background, you can probably hear a bit of it constantly running because that helps me think. And I do that in the night as well. Same thing. Listen to it while falling asleep because it helps my brain think and constantly tick over. The music helps me motivate. I can sit with headphones on and power through anything that needs doing. Just power through it with me, focus, like blocking out the world sometimes. And now I don't even touch the news. I'm not even, if I hear from a friend or family member something's happened, then fair enough. I do not even listen to the news at all. I don't think there's any positive in that whatsoever in this current climate. We know the situation. We know it's got potential to get worse. We have to learn how to, so it doesn't impact us. Go out there, stay healthy, stay safe, do what you ever needs to do. And my condolences to everybody who's lost a family member out there. And there's people that have lost their lives, unfortunately, but letting it affect you mentally as well, that's down to you.
Yeah.
That's down to you. If you're letting it affect your mind and your brain, that's your choice. And same with watching things in the morning that are not going to benefit you, that are going to probably destroy your mindset. Don't let it. Watch something positive. Listen to something positive. Listening is better for me. I prefer to have audio, so I listen to something. I don't really watch anything. It's more an audio thing for me. So I listen to things. If the news is on, I maybe listen to it. But I wouldn't watch it. Visualization can destroy you. If you're watching the same thing again and again every morning without fail, it's going to damage you. But if you listen to positivity every morning, it's going to change your mind. It's going to open up your mind. Like I said, music I'm a huge fan of it, as well as audios like Halterbug's Cash Cow is two of the things that I do regular now. And they've just, like I said again, they've become a habit. First it was the news. First I'd pick up the remote. Now the remote is nowhere near me. With my phone, the only thing that I use my phone for is when I have that time and that set aside to post on social media. I'll get up every Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. For those that know, I do my lives, Inspiration with De Silva. Plug into that every morning. That could be one of your habits. Every morning at 11, every Wednesday morning, 11 a.m., I will be live on Facebook. Plug in. Do something that's going to shift your mindset and make it a habit. I get up without fail, without an alarm clock, 5 to 7 o'clock. If I choose to lie in, I choose to lie in. But that's because I've done something else to replace my time in the evening. And things like that. Have it calendared. You're right. Have it written down. Make a calendar. Make a diary. Schedule yourself. If you need to do the shopping, you need to do the dishes, do it. If you've got your breakfast, don't sit there and waste through your breakfast. Listen to an audio. Do something that's going to be a natural instinct eventually. It takes time. It may not be easy, but it will definitely become an instinct if you consistently do it. When it becomes an instinct, that's when it starts to impact your life.
Yeah. We need to feed our body and our mind. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Super important. What we feed our minds is probably more important than what we feed our bodies. You know, if you have the mindset right, you will automatically eat healthy. You will automatically cut out things that don't benefit you. You know that things that harm your body. It's about mindset shift, about changing what you believe in, changing the ways, your habits. You know, if you woke up to a greasy sandwich every morning, that's because you're used to it. Now you eat a cereal, eat some oats, do something else, do something different. If you want to change that habit, break it, go for a run first thing, get hungry and have a proper breakfast. Water, drink water, stop fizzy drinks, do this, do that. I mean, I'm a foodie. I eat anything and everything, but I don't let it affect me. You know, you can have food and let it affect you and make you lazy and obese. I use that food as energy because I'm always going. So I've learned to even have whatever I want to eat but learn to channel that energy into food energy, and that energy to go out through my day. You know, like I can go on for hours and hours and end, but where does that energy come from? It comes from the food I eat. And I'm blessed to say I'm a foodie. I love my greasy, my junk food, my Asian food. I come from an Asian household, so food's really important in my life. I love all types of foods, but I don't let it affect me either. You know, I'm not going to sit there lazy and spend hours eating my food. I'll eat it at a pace. I'll spend an hour on it, but I'll also listen to something positive. I'll drink the right stuff to wash it down and eat healthy, and then go for a little walk if I need to. So, I mean, that's another thing. Like cars, for example, I don't rely on a car on purpose. Why? Because I would go to a corner shop in a car instead of walking, which is a 5-minute walk. I'd become so lazy and reliant. Now I drop my daughter off to school at 9 o'clock. And I walk there to school because it's 10, 15 minutes away. I like that walk, then go to my office or go to work, etc. And that's what my habits have become. I do that routine daily. And it's had a huge impact, I think.
It does, yeah. Okay, cool. Right, a lot of things. So we've been past an hour, I guess. Yes, we've been more than an hour. We are starting to wrap up, getting to the end. But I really want to say thank you. I really appreciate what you shared, everything. I know that there has been a shift in the both of us. And I don't know if you want to ask anything before I go. And I have one last question, but I don't know if you want to add anything else you want to ask.
No, ask your question, ask away, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, brilliant. So I would say, I think I asked you this back in December when we met last time in December, but I'd like to ask again, maybe something changed or maybe you want to really go deep about it, and then I'll go with the last one. So first question is, so there are actually two questions, sorry. So first one is, you've been in sales and into home-based business for a long time, for 15 years, you said, right? Yeah. And you mentioned about you've been helping companies to achieving the target of 1 million, but then having the feeling that it wasn't really your million, was someone else's million. So what's the fuel that keeps you that kept you staying anyway into the industry of home-based business, of network marketing? What's your reason of staying and never quit and always keep doing it despite all the hurdles, all the issues, and all the struggle? So what's your why, and what keeps you going? And as well, how do you see yourself, in the coming years? Without mention any company, anything, but just mention about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like the sales background was what I was good at. I was good at talking to people. I was good at approaching people, speaking to people. I always had this natural ability, and that's why I went into sales. I found it was my calling, being able to help and listen to people, and be able to offer them a solution. And that's one of the big reasons why I went into network marketing. I think it's the pinnacle platform where an average individual without any experience or education can become something more and can impact other people. Name me an industry where you have no barriers to your income. Name me an industry where the value that you're getting and you're giving is next to nothing. We're in an industry where you don't need to do anything yourself and everything's there for you, or you have to go out there and speak to people. There's no industry like this. Like I said, turning over 1 million in the corporate world and turning over 1 million for yourself are two completely different things. Living somebody else's dream and living your dream is two completely different things. That requires a huge shift in mindset. I only did it because I learned from everything. I learned from those sales experiences. It's given me the passion and the ability to speak to people and the confidence to speak to people. So I stuck with it and I was good at it. But why network marketing? Because there's so much more you can do. There's so much more people impacting. Like I said, it was when I had my daughter. My daughter is my why. Now it's about her. And when it became about her, I realized that, wait a minute, it was never about me. It was about helping as many people as possible. It was about going out there and impacting the generations to come, the people to come. How many lives can you change? So it was actually always about that. It was never about me. It was about helping people. And the industry that we're part of, the network marketing industry, the direct sales industry, is huge. What are you doing? You're getting rewarded to help other people. You're getting rewarded to offer a solution to people's problems. You're getting rewarded to impact people. You do it in a job anyway. Now you're just doing it on a bigger scale. And for me, network marketing or industry of multi-level marketing has been the best industry for anybody to begin in. I mean, a couple of months ago, I was had the privilege of hearing from Grant Cardone, billionaire. Everybody knows him as a real estate billionaire. He's had a huge success in the corporate world. But I had the privilege of listening to him on one of the calls that was running. And one of the things that stood out, and he's made his billions from estates, right, property. And he said something about this industry, which really, it was a light bulb. And he said, I started from nothing, from scratch. And I had a little amount of income. And I was able to build this. You guys have got it on a silver platter. The network marketing industry is super, super simple, but we just complicate it. We don't do the simple things on a daily basis, and we complicate it. When you realize that this industry opens avenues and opens doors for your life, it's not about the company, it's not about the money, it's not about the compensation plan, it's not about the product or service. It's about what you're able to achieve through this vehicle. It's the simplest, the easiest, the fastest vehicle that I've ever come across in my 15 years that can make an average person become a multimillionaire. It is so powerful. And like I said, I've turned over $1 million in the corporate world. And where is that money today? It's gone. It's not impacted anybody other than my pocket and my time. I wasted years living somebody else's dream when right in front of me, I had the biggest, the best, the fastest vehicle to success. And that was network marketing. And the company or the industry that we're in now has evolved, and it's been a game changer. I have never come across anything like this in my 15 plus years of being in the industry of sales and direct sales and, networking and having your own businesses and doing what you want. This is a game changer. This industry has flipped, and now people are realizing that, especially in this current climate with COVID-19, people working from home, if you can work for 12 hours for somebody else working from home, don't you think you can put an hour aside to work for yourself? Doing the same thing that you're doing for somebody else? It's exactly the same. Nothing's changing. It's just about having that mindset, that step. Remove that safety net from under you. Believe me, once that safety net is gone, you will be the eagle that will fly and succeed, because you've got nothing, no benchmark, you've got no cap, you've got no limitation, you've got nobody telling you when you can go on holiday, you've got nobody holding your hand anymore. You're free to go out and achieve unlimited success. I'm not saying there's anything bad about having a job, but don't let your job be permanent. Use your job as a vehicle to excel yourself forward. Invest in yourself, invest in your growth, invest in your personal development, invest in your mindset, invest in people, and you watch the success that you will receive only by that one thing. Is letting go of whatever's holding you down. And unfortunately, a job as great as it is, you might enjoy your job. It's not yours. It's not your dream. Have a higher purpose, have a higher calling. 10x your dream, 100x your dream. My house is going to be a yacht, not a house. It's going to be on water. And when I tell you that the marble floors and the wooden structure and the location where it's going to be at, I know my vision to the T. I can name you the wood, the smell. I can visualize the color, the texture of what my boat will look and feel like. I can hear the sounds of which ocean it is. I can tell you the exact location where my yacht's going to be. Can you do that? And you can't do that in a job, believe me. It was this industry that gave me that power of belief, gave me that vision, that goal. Not a job. No CEO taught me that. This industry did. and it's impacting millions and millions of lives. And if you haven't taken advantage of this industry, if you're plugging in and hearing about this industry for the first time, if you're watching this on replay, or if you're watching this live and you have not heard about this industry, and if you have not heard about what we're doing, wake up. That's all I can say. You need to wake up, because this industry is impacting generations. And the next 2 to 5 years, where do I see myself, you ask me?
Yes.
I'm going to be sitting on my deck, smoking the biggest cigar, and sitting with my daughter on my yacht. Believe me, and that will happen. It's about believing it and seeing a vehicle. And we've got the vehicle right here. This vehicle's open to everybody. If you're tuning in for the first time, you're hearing this message for the first time, if you've never connected with me for the first time, now's the time. Go to my page, connect with me, add me on Instagram, add me on my YouTube channel, Abz De Silva, and follow the journey that we're on. And Mario will tell you that this is the best journey you have ever been on. And where we're going to be in the next 5-10 years, I'll let you figure that out yourselves. Because I know where I'm going to be. The question is, where are you going to be?
In life, you don't get what you want, you get what you picture. That's from our
100%.
CEO, Mr. Bucks. So.
Don't let your dream just be a dream. Make your dream a reality. And let me tell you, this industry is a dream creator. This industry is where you can make your dreams reality. Turning dreams to reality. That's my motto. Making it a reality. You have the right vehicle, the right people, the right coaching, the right mentoring, right here, right in this industry. Multi-millionaires who have had the huge success. Why? Because they will be able to leverage, they will be able to help as many people as they can, and you can do the same. Don't be greedy. Don't be selfish on yourself. Believe in yourself and have a bigger mindset, have a bigger dream. 10, whatever you're thinking now, 10 times it. Whatever you're thinking right now, whatever your goal is, whatever your vision is, multiply it by 100. And then tell me if your dreams are big enough. Don't reach for the moon when there's galaxies beyond that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Drop the mic, as we used to say, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you know to which call you were referring about Grant Cardone. I think was with Eric Worre back in November.
Yeah,
I remember that interview. Yeah, I actually recorded on my phone. Yeah,
got it as well. Yeah,
actually recorded on my phone. I was like, yeah, this dude is right. He had nothing. I mean, this guy Grant Cardone, someone that you really want to study. He had nothing. His father passed away when he was really young. His mom struggled a lot. He has brothers. He was in drugs. Then he cleaned himself. You know, started this business, selling cards, and then all the stories. And why I can tell this now, because I'm following him and I studied his life. And man, I can't wait to go to a 10X conference.
Nobody's ever successful to begin with. People become successful from the actions that they do, from the actions that they take, the habits that they create, and the connections that they build. That's how people have success. You know, Colonel Sanders, KFC owner, tried his recipe hundreds of times. At the age of 70, he had his success.
Yeah.
But it was an overnight success. It wasn't an overnight success. It was a build-up from all those times he was rejected. No, we can't do it. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. And there's so many different success stories like that people have failed. It's not failing. Who said it's failing? Fail should not be in your dictionary. Who's learning? You learn, you grow. You impact, and you grow. And you become the person that you are meant to be. You're on this planet for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Make that reason the biggest reason. Don't think small. Hell yeah, I'll stand up for elections one day if I have to change this world and to change the people. But do it. Don't just say it. Don't just dream it. Visualize it. Impact it, make it happen. And it's all from these little decisions that you're making. You're going to make those decisions today of why your life's going to change, what you need from your life, where you won't see yourself. Don't just write down your goal. Look at it every single morning. Do what the CEO did. Write your check to yourself $1 million until you hit it. Write your check, put it in your wallet of £1 million and go out there and achieve it. Pay yourself that million. It's just about a short-term commitment. is committing yourself for the next 2 to 5 years. Who's ready? Who's tuning live on this? Who's watching this on replay? Are you committed to the next 2 to 5 years? If you are, connect with myself or Mario, and let us show you what the journey that we're on. The journey that's going to impact and change your life and the lives of those people around you forever. You're not going to be now recognized just by your children. Hell, they'll be talking about Abz De Silva for 100 years to come. And that's a promise.
Yeah. I'm just let that sink into people who are watching live or watching replay. That's why I'm taking the time to be a bit on silence. That's why I'm like this. So much stuff, so many things here to digest. Yeah. So, getting close to the end, I always like to ask this, because in what we are now, and as well into in actually what we started, let's say, with the business, what is growing as well, we can't wait to take an airplane, right? We can't wait to take an airplane to go somewhere. So what's your travel destination as soon, I would say as soon this is over, what is the first place you want to go? Second, in life in general, what is your travel dream destination?
Okay, so after this lockdown, my destination, I'm actually going to go back home for a bit to Pakistan. Why? Because I believe that's the root cause of my life. You know, look where I was born to look where I am today. And realizing that it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, what your family's like, whether you're rich or poor, none of that matters. And being true to yourself is what matters. Believing in yourself, visualizing the goals. So for the first destination, it's going to be, I'm going to go back to my roots, just relax, switch off for a month, you know, and let it just sink in, because you're going to be grateful for where you started. You know, be grateful that you're alive, and go back to your roots as well. Follow your roots as well. Follow your culture. Look at your history, but don't let it affect you. You have a bigger purpose in life. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I'm going there, just to have that little clarity and mind opening. It helps me think. It helps me, you know, learn, because it's such a different lifestyle over there. It's more relaxed. There's no stress. There's nothing to worry about there. And it's a great lifestyle to be in. It's just so simple, and people are still happy. Unfortunately, and people in the UK have got everything and still not happy. So be grateful for everything that you have. My dream destination, wow, this is a huge one actually, and it's a weird one. It's actually one that sort of gave me my name, my brand, and it's actually Mexico, believe it or not. And the only reason it's Mexico is because I went there and I met people with dreams and visions. They didn't have it all. They didn't have anything, but they were so happy. They were always buzzing. They had visions and dreams and goals, and they would just go out and do it. And I saw so many successful people in terms of the fact that they've changed their lives. And it was when I was in Mexico. I came across somebody, I met quite an old gentleman who'd living there for many, many years, who saw the ups and downs, and he said, "What are you doing here? You know, why have you come here?" And we were like, "We come here to visit. We love the country. We love the people. We love the environment." And he goes, "Do you know people have struggled here for years?" And I was like, "That's why we come here. It's to humble yourselves. It's to bring yourself back down to earth, but also it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world." You know, absolutely love that place. I love having, you know, that connection to nature, that connection to different types of people. And my name stuck out there because apparently I looked like somebody that had the name De Silva. And I was confused. Somebody confused me with another person, and that's where De Silva stuck in. And now look at it. If it wasn't for that journey, this brand would have never come from anywhere. This brand, you know, my trip twice, one of them I don't remember because it was just a party trip. So the second one was an eye-opener. And that's when my name stuck and it changed. And I realized Abz De Silva is the guy that's going to change lives. Abz De Silva is the guy that's going to impact generations. That De Silva brand that you hear, that you see every day on my social media, there's a big meaning behind that. There's a deep, deep meaning behind that. And it was the realization that I can share a name with somebody that impacted me. Came from nothing, and yet he was willing to go out there and make a difference. And that's why their name stuck, because we had so much in common. We had the belief in common, and his name has now become my name in an essence. But I've not let that name go to waste. I'm going to make sure that name rings in the heart and minds of people, and it's going to push people up. It's going to make people believe long after I'm gone. I know what I'm doing today will impact those people yet to come. So your name is everything. Your name is your brand. And like I said, Mexico, Cancun is one of those places where I'd always go back to. And where I was born is the other location. Why? Because it's humbling. It's, you know, it's where I was born. And it brings back those two different lifestyles, two different cultures, and puts them into the one. Two different destinations, worlds apart, completely different worlds, but with that same true meaning as everybody has the same choice. Everybody has the same 24 hours. Everybody has that same time to make an impact, to make a change, to make a huge shift. Don't let where you grew up or where you go into impact you. It's not happened yet. Where you go into, that's down to you. But it's where you came from. Don't let that change you. You can become whoever you want to become. You can go to any destination in the world. Finally, in regards to overall destination, it's going to have to be the tropical islands. I want to be able to just sit back, relax, and that's the content moment. That's that moment where I will be content, where I know my legacy is able to change millions of lives, and what the work I do, people can carry on. And I want to sit on that beach. I want to sit in that next to that ocean where there's just ocean in front of you and nothing else but the sky. That's the end destination for me.
Sit back, relax, and let the prep work for us.
Exactly. People haven't woken up. People have no idea what's coming. You know, for those, like I said, that are on this call that don't know what we do,
let's connect it. Let's connect it.
Get connected. Drop Mario a message. Drop your name in the comments below. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, a huge shout out. I know we've gone way over time, and I appreciate and I'm humbled for everybody who's jumped on the Facebook Live. So those that can hear me, you know, absolute honor, absolute privilege to be able to come on the live. It's been a huge privilege. Like I said, sharing the stage with you, Mario. You know, I've seen your journey. I've seen where you come from and where you're heading to, and I believe your story is going to impact millions and millions of lives. So go out there, smash it. Same with everybody else that's tuning in. If you're watching this on the repeat, like I said, a huge shout out. Thank you very much for, again, this opportunity, this journey, this privilege to be able to speak and share my story on stage. And let's wrap it up. I want to see you on the beaches of the world.
Yes, indeed, pleasure. And just to answer briefly about my travel destination. First one is Madrid in Spain. Have you been there?
Beautiful. Love traveling.
Madrid. I have so many friends. They always tell me, come to Madrid, come to Madrid, come to Madrid. First off is the capital. So I want to visit the capital. So much history, so much good food, the people, the fun, you know. I really want to go to Madrid first off as soon as it's over. Obviously, I want to go home. Yes, I want to go back in Italy. But I said to them, look, if I need to do so much stuff, paper, I'd rather just go somewhere else. I love it, but I'd rather go somewhere else, you know. And then destination is close to Mexico, I would say. My dream destination is Cuba, the island of Cuba, for many reasons. I love to dance salsa, first off. So that's why I want to go there. But I want to go for the food, for the nature, for the landscape, for the experiences of, you said a cigar before, right? I don't smoke, but there are these famous Cuban cigar. I want to see how they are made, you know. That's why I want to go.
I've got one sitting in my cupboard, believe it or not. Yeah. I haven't got it with me, unfortunately. It's at my home address, but it was a gift. and it was a very expensive gift, in fact, from somebody that I met out there in Mexico. And he said, don't open it until you're fully content, till you're ready.
Wow.
And that's been sitting there since. And believe me, when the journey comes, I wouldn't say to an end, but it comes to the pinnacle point where I know within my power, I've helped as many people as I can. That will be the celebration.
Yeah.
So 100%, it's all about where you're going to have that dream destination. It's super, super important, because if you don't visualize a sort of like an ending, I wouldn't say retirement, because I want to continue to help people regardless of what my age is or what my health is like. I'll continue to help people, but it's about being in that position, even if it's for a short moment. It's about saying, yes, you've done it. You've been there. You've gone and done it. You've sat there and you've done what you said you're going to do. That's what matters. That's what's important. Whether you plan to stay there, that's not a problem, but having that dream destination or where you want to sit there, it can be for a day, it can be for a week, it can be for a month, it can be for 6 months, it can be for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But have that destination in mind. And I think that's super, super important, especially if you're on the verge to success. One of the things that we teach people to enable them to open their mind, one of the first things that we do, one of the first steps, dream destination. What is your dream destination? Now, I don't mean just think of a destination. I mean deeply go in.
Yeah.
Think about the destination. Where is it? Location. What's the property like where you stayed? Where in the world is it? What options do you have? What's the food like? What does it smell like? What's the type of people? Every little detail should be implemented in your head, like the back of your hand. If you can dream your destination like that, that's it. That's when it becomes a dream, and that's when you have the power to make it a reality. And this is the industry to do it in, 100%.
Exactly. Yeah. I cannot agree enough. I mean, all you just said, yes, is so true. And again, in life, you don't get what you want, you get what you picture. It's from our CEO, Mr. Bucks, but it's really true. Like when I said that the cigar as well, I want to see the sugar, the rum, how it's made. I don't drink alcohol as well, so I just want to see how this famous rum is done.
Yeah.
I mean, I like rum. I love rum, but I leave a sip, there. But yeah, I really appreciate your time. Really, thank you for what you've been sharing the stage here virtually. Maybe in the future we're gonna do together live in person somewhere. Who knows? That's what I like to say to all the guests coming. And yeah, I mean, seeing again since when I met you, then to the change that I see as well, the social media, your daily actions is really so much change as well. And I'm sure that what you share today, it will impact at least one person is watching live or replay. I'm sure one person is being impacted, and many others will be impacted in the future.
And that's all that matters. So like I said, do tag everybody into this video. If you're watching this live on replay, tag your friends, tag somebody in that this can benefit, guys. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Go out there. For me, it's been an absolute honor and privilege. Like I said, I'm truly humbled to be around yourself, Mario, and some of our mentors, around those people. If there's any guests that know me already, huge shout out to you. Thank you very much for your support. Please continue to support Mario every Fridays. He's on at 4 p.m. Continue to connect on his calls, and there's some golden nuggets dropped every week, guys. So you never know. You might hear from somebody that's going to change your life. So do plug into Mario's calls. Thank you very much for supporting to this again. And like I said, whether you want to close it, whether I want to close it, I want to see everybody who watches this video have that same success, so I can see you on some of the most beautiful beaches of the world. Boom.
Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, let me just thank you for tuning in, everybody. If you're watching the replay, yes, leave a comment replay. If you want to ask any question to us, if you want to connect with us, we are here, we are available. And as well, yes, plug in into Abz Lives on Wednesday at 11. So as well to get value. So use social media wisely, I would say to everybody. It's just there. I like to have fun on social media, but then use wisely as well. That's why I do these lives. That's why Abz does these lives as well, on Wednesday. So appreciate it again. Thank you very much. And Hope to see everybody be safe.